All right, what's up, guys? I'm Popo. Thank you very much for coming to the channel. I'm kind of torn between these two keyboards, and I want to kind of go over the differences of them. Meaning, I made a video on how to use the different scenes on the Yamaha Montage, and we made a whole song. It was super dope. Sounds is fire. Probably one of the most. Everything you hear out of here inspires you to make a sound. You know what I'm saying? And the harder you hit it, the better. You hear that? I'm no pro keyboard player either, but it sounds good. And whenever I resample these sounds, I don't know what I'm going to get. I just know that I want quality sounds to flip. And everybody's into stems and all that, but I like to play out my parts. If I hear a bass line, I'll play it. If I hear something, I'll get close to it. I only need 3 seconds. So let's get in here real quick. And if you on my screen, this has over 8 tracks playing right now. I'm not going to show you guys how to use this or anything like that. There's some really good videos on how to use it. I'm going over some stuff here. My stuff that I'm like, hang on a second. Like, it's got 8 parts. I got it full blast, right? Pretty close, all right? I'm not trying to do a sound comparison. This has thousands of sounds in it, okay? This one don't. This one's got song mode. This one don't. This one's got a screen with all kinds of cool interactive things that you can do just by hitting page jump. You can see what you're doing on any one of these buttons on the screen. Okay, it's super dope. Now, it's still been over a month and I've been messing with this keyboard. Yamaha's my jam. I love Yamaha. I'm going to give it to Yamaha. If I walked into a room and I looked at these two keyboards, just by looking at them, I mean, I know they're both serious, but I'd probably try to run off with this Yamaha if I didn't know anything about the Nord. Now, this thing weighs double what that weighs. Now, this costs double what this costs. So when I got this, I was kind of like, whoa, it's small, it's little, which might be good for people that are on stage. Like I'm gonna get into that. It's a Nord stage. This is serious stuff, man. I'm just gonna play one little. It's effortless. I mean, they straight up made it to where, okay, I love the Yamaha. We're gonna put the Yamaha to the side for a second. I'm gonna use the Yamaha for song mode, finding different sounds. It's got a different texture. It's got a different approach. It's got a different glue to it. Okay, so if you're making a bunch of things, you might want to chop this for your. I might want to chop this whole little thing here for my samples, and then play a lead over with this, because this thing right here, the converters in the back on here, they make it to where I like to play all of this stuff in the studio, right? I'll have like 16 tracks going, and then you can hit this button and it's going to pierce right through the room. There's tons of different effects on here, and I don't want to go over the pitch wheel and the stone and all that stuff. I want to just go ahead and tell you the sounds on here and the ease of use. Like, I've sat down here for a day or two now for with this thing. Not in time, but I've had this in my house for a day or two. And it's really fun to use. It's easy to use. They did a great job of being able to create something where a user can come down, not have to hit any menus. Okay, you just go in here, you turn it on, you start making your sounds, and then you can layer them and do all kinds of. But like I say, there's tons of videos on layering. This is just how I feel about the board. It's light. It's like 25 pounds. This is almost 50 pounds, which have. I like to have the weight on my board to remind me where my money went. But the sounds alone in here. And it's like I'm torn. It's like if somebody were to say, which one would you pick? I would have to run out with both of them. Or I mean, I'm just saying, you can't compare them. The there's a lot of pianos in here. There's a lot of all kinds of stuff in here, and the sounds are just. And the lower you go, the better. Sometimes the sounds cut out on you. Not on this bad boy. And the modulating everything, like here, you got to use the super knob, which is super dope. Super dope. You just hold the one of the buttons to freaking assign the knob. You got to go to super knob, and it's inside the screen, and then you can assign any of these parameters to the super knob. So when you turn it, it changes all these other things. Same thing with this. They call it the stone, and yeah, it feels like a stone, and it's super dope. The first time I saw a red keyboard, I was a kid, and I walked up into the Guitar Center when they had guitars and keyboards and stuff in there for you. And it was something that I thought I would never get, and I didn't even want to touch it. I just looked at it and was like, man, what a beautiful board. I've heard them on stage. Just a beautiful sounding board, and it's powerful. I can't stress that enough, how powerful this is. I'm just going to make a quick sound here. I don't want to eat up too much of your time. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to make some videos on here because I'm going to be playing this, so you're going to see it on the channel. The effects on here, man, there's tons of stuff on here, but the effects alone on here, with this you get two organs, two pianos, and three synth parts. Finally got something. All right. Kind of got lost there for a second. So I'm going to play this one the best that I can. I got them at the same time. Like I say, this one's got a lot more sounds in it, but any sound that you put into this one's going to just fly through the room. It's going to punch right through the wall. So let's play. And thanks again, guys, for watching. I know it's kind of a throw together video, but I wanted to kind of compare these two, even though it's not, you can't really compare them. Like I say, this has got a ton of features on it, a ton of menu diving. You spend a long time learning this, and it's like a forever journey. But this one right here, talk about you just get it out the box, start playing it, and then the more you mess with it, the better you get with it. They're just like this one. But you guys tell me which ones you personally, if you've messed with either or. I don't know, but I'm just glad and blessed to be able to have both. And I want to share this last sound with you guys. And I'm going to go with this has a lot of sounds. This has a lot of Yamaha sounds in it. But at the same time, this one sounds way more powerful. That's all I can really say is this one sounds way more powerful. All right, so let's check this out. We'll do some more videos with the freaking lanes and all that stuff, and oh my goodness. But yeah, nobody really cared too much about the video that I made about the Yamaha Montage with the fan noise. Um, it's just saying, you got bad wires coming out of the back of it. You might hear a little bit of that going on inside of your Montage. But it's a badass board, man. It's definitely a keeper. But like I say, I would most likely make my samples on here, and then either way, I'm gonna try them both ways. I'd like to feed my really super strong samples into the SP, but I might just put these in there. This way, it makes a nice little background because it's got its own glue to it. Okay, and when you can put a bunch of sounds together and you make a nice little sample, and you can chop it up and put it in your SP, and you're like, doing all this just to put it in the SP? You're like, yeah, I'm doing this just to put it in my SP. I like sampling records, and I like making noise, and I like to hear what this does to it. So it's going to be crazy. The sounds I was putting into it, if you've seen any of my other videos, they were coming out of not such a great, real Italian, right? It was not such a good. But this thing here is dope. I'm so glad that I've been able to have this thing now. So, like I said, as a kid, it's something that I've always wanted. And man, it's definitely going to be staying in my studio. Like, these things are coming off. This is all I'm going to learn how to use. This is the board that I like to learn. And I can't see very well, okay? It's a big point, is that going in here in the menus, and not that I can read all this fine print and everything like that, but when I turn a knob, after a while, you'll know that these top knobs here are your on switches. I know that's an on switch. Yeah, they're at the top. And then you got your, it's just very aware, and you can hear what you're doing. So it's super, super dope. Super beautiful board. I went with the 73 with the waterfall keys. Um, the non-waterfall keys have a little lip on them. These don't. And like I say, it's really nice to play. Really, really cool to play. As far as the key bed and everything like that, they're both fun to play. They're nice and sticky. You can move around real nice. But my God, man, what a treat to finally be able to hear quality sounds. And like I say, you can take sounds from any of your keyboards and put them into here with the software that they got on here. I'm not sure. I didn't even look if they have like an input or output. No, you can't sample or anything on here. There's nothing like that going on. One cool thing that I will mention is that it has MIDI in, so I can use my MPC and actually play 7 different tracks on my Nord. That sounds so cool to be able to sing on my Nord. So yeah, track 1, MIDI channel 1 would be organ 1, MIDI channel 2, track 2 off the MPC now going into this here. Piano 3, piano 4, synth 1, 2, and 3. That's 5, 6, 7. The 7 tracks of independent effects and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to hook it up MIDI. It does do the USB also. So it's dope. I did hook up the MPC to this keyboard, and it worked out really, really nice. Being able to sequence out songs and all that, I did all that with these buttons here. Like, you didn't even need the MPC to sequence out. Benefit would be like be able to use the piano roll. That's it. But you can use all of this here once you got. But like I say, there are 3 separate keyboards, and they all have their own purpose in my studio. So I'm just like wanted to share this, guys, and I hope everybody's doing good, and wanted to share some of these sounds. And if you're out there trying to find something that they might want to play, this does not play at all. It's super. And it's not the only sound that's on the montage, okay? That's just one of my favorite ones on there, and one that I could compare with what I made on here. Alright, guys, I'm going to cut it. The rest of the day, I'm going to get on here. I got a lot to learn. Another puzzle to put together in my brain, but honest to God, dude, when you turn this thing on, you're like, okay, section 1, bing, bing. everything's independent. It's like 7 tracks, and you got all your stuff right here. We'll go over all this. Like I said, there's tons of videos out there that they have the cameras where they can zoom in and actually show you what the hell they're doing. But as far as sound wise, this thing's 10 out of 10. And the effects is dope. The effects is where it's at. I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to save it for another video. But this is super cool. It's got a ton of features to help you play, and it's a real board. I don't know if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I have favorite sounds on here and favorite sounds on here. I really, really love the power, period, that this has. I think if you put these next to each other and you plugged in speakers, the same speakers, and you played it, this sound will travel further than this one's going to break up before this one. Bottom line. Right on, guys. I'm Polly Popo, and I'll see you guys on the next one.